Today is November 9th, 2016. My name is Elizabeth Bomarito, and I'm interviewing Steve Bobbitt. Steve was born on August 7th, 1991. He currently lives on Jefferson Avenue in Detroit, Michigan, and works for a surgical company as a medical representative. Alright, so starting off here, why don't you tell me a little bit about where you grew up?
I grew up in Lake Orion. I was born in Germany and then grew up in Lake Orion for about 19 years. It's about 45 minutes north of Detroit, kind of by Pontiac and Auburn Hills. And then I moved to Kalamazoo for 3 years, then Hazel Park for a year, and then Detroit for the past year.
Alright, and generally speaking, how do you feel about law enforcement, and how have you perceived your interactions with them, generally speaking?
There's obviously good cops and bad cops. It feels like the bad cops have outweighed the good cops more recently. I've had interactions with good cops, but at the same time, I've dealt with a lot of bad cops, a lot of people that don't treat you fairly, no matter what you did, anyways.
Right, and kind of in keeping with what you are already talking about, how has law enforcement affected you personally?
I got in trouble a decent amount when I was a young teenager, so I was arrested a few times by the cops, and again with nice cops and bad cops, it's affected me a lot. It's kept me from doing a certain amount of things I tried to do when I was growing up just by getting charged with so many cases. And for something as simple as an MIP, I'd get arrested for maybe drinking a beer and then getting sentenced to 2 years probation, keeping me from having a license, some jobs, and affecting my school too.
Gotcha. Okay. Being a young black male, can you summarize for me how you feel about what is going on in the world today regarding the treatment of African Americans by police officers?
It's definitely scary. The more you see now compared to what you felt like you saw growing up with more of the social media and the video cameras and everything just being available on someone's phone. People can just see what's going on and post it online compared to back in the day when you could just tell someone about it, no one would believe it as much. So it's definitely mixed feelings and definitely kind of scary.
All right. And if an officer were to approach us right now, would you feel safe or threatened? Just how would that make you feel, and how do you think you would react?
It's still weird to be. Sometimes I feel scared. I've gotten pulled over recently and still been shaking, scared just all the things that have been going on recently. So, it depends on how the cops approach you and everything too, and why, and it's just not really the best feeling.
So has there ever been a specific time in your life where you have felt directly threatened by the police?
Yeah. I was in a bad relationship with a girl before, and she called the cops saying that I was trying to harm myself, even though I really wasn't. And then about 5 minutes later, I walked outside. There was 2 cops pointing a gun at my head at my home. So, obviously there's no use for that. So definitely felt scared there, and it's kind of changed my opinion on cops too.
So in your opinion, you would say police officers tend to overreact, or what would you have to say about that?
I say in most situations I tend to overreact, especially growing up in Lake Orion and the Oakland County Police compared to police in Wayne County. They don't have to deal with as much, so I feel like when a simple thing like that happens, there's more police that show up and they just overreact with that, compared to if it happened in a Wayne County where there's more crime like that, they wouldn't really react the same way.
Gotcha. So what does the phrase Black Lives Matter mean to you, and how do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement?
It's tricky. I like the Black Lives Matter movement and everything. I feel like there's always those people in there that are going to mess it up, though, just by overdoing it. What it means to me is just Black Lives Matter, and you can tell with all the people, there's a reason that there is the Black Lives Matter movement, and with all the people that are getting unjustly killed by cops for little things as selling cigarettes outside of a convenience store or just getting profiled or something like that, I think people are just trying to take a stand and, just mention to people that Black Lives Matter too.
How does it make you feel when other movements, how do you feel about other movements that have popped up, such as, Blue Lives Matter, or just the the backlash about the Black Lives Matter movement by the other things that people are talking about, Purple Lives Matter, Everyone Matters. How does that make you feel?
There's the All Lives Matter, then the Blue Lives Matter for police too. Which no one's saying that only Black Lives Matter. It's just people see people saying that Black Lives Matter, and then they want something of their own, especially with predominantly Caucasian. They just want something to say that all lives matter or something like that, which it's weird.
I agree. So, in your opinion, what could people do in this country to help remedy racial bias? Just here in closing.
Just everyone learning how to cooperate with everyone better. Cops learning how to deal with certain situations better. Maybe better training for them, and not it being so easy to become a cop, and then an unexperienced person comes in, gets frightened by a person of color they're not used to dealing with, and then accidentally shooting them or something, then having all this started. So I feel like if communities and cops could learn how to coexist with each other a lot better, then it would just be better for everyone altogether.
All right. Thank you, Steve.